My name is Dave Okonkwo. Until 11 hours ago, my biggest achievement on this ship was fixing a broken ice maker without shutting down the whole water system. Now, everyone on board is calling me the reason their giant, advanced spaceship did not turn into a cloud of broken metal floating in space. Let me explain how that happened. I work as a maintenance technician on a ship called the Vethrai Ascendant. It belongs to a group called the Kailnoi Trade Compact, a group of alien species who travel through space to trade goods between planets. I got this job 8 months ago through a work program for humans. Most alien species on this ship do not like small, dirty jobs like climbing into narrow tunnels or fixing broken pipes. But humans do not mind that kind of work, especially when the pay is good and the food is decent. So there I was, deep inside the ship, 3 levels below the engine room, doing exactly what my job title says, maintenance. That day started like any other. I was inside a narrow metal tunnel, replacing an old air filter, when the alarms went off. These were not soft, polite alarms. These were the loud, red light kind of alarms. The kind that make every creature on the ship start talking faster and louder than normal. I quickly climbed out of the tunnel, wiped the grease off my hands, and walked toward the control room. When I got there, I saw complete chaos. Core temperature difference is rising beyond safe levels, the ship's computer announced. Its voice was calm and steady, which made the situation feel even scarier. Thermal control system integrity is failing. Catastrophic failure expected in 14 minutes. 14 minutes. That is not a lot of time when your ship's engine might explode. The chief engineer, a tall alien named Vren, was shouting instructions to a group of technicians. Vren had a hard shell-like body and long limbs, and right now, every part of that body looked stressed. The technicians were checking screens, running tests, and trying to understand what was wrong. These were some of the smartest engineers in the entire trade group. They had studied advanced physics and engineering for years, but right now, they all looked confused. "The coolant is flowing normally," one technician shouted. "The pumps are working. The heat exchangers are working. There is no clear mechanical problem." "Could it be a radiation leak?" another asked. "No," came the reply. "Radiation levels are normal." "Sabotage, maybe?" "We are scanning for intruders. Nothing found." I stood at the door for a moment and watched this scene. A group of brilliant engineers, each one smarter than me on paper, staring at screens full of green lights that all said, "Everything is fine," while the ship kept getting hotter and hotter. Something about that did not make sense to me. I walked closer and asked a simple question. "Hey, what does your air system look like right now?" Vren did not even turn to look at me. "That is not related to the core temperature problem." "Are you sure?" I said. "If your heat exchangers push hot air into the same tunnels as your regular air system, then yes, it matters a lot." I knew this because I had crawled through that exact section of tunnels 2 days earlier to replace a filter. Many ships built by the Compact use shared duct systems to save space and weight. It means the air used to cool the engine sometimes travels through the same paths as the air people breathe. This got Vren's attention. He turned one of his eye stalks toward me. "Yes, that is correct. So if something is blocking that shared duct," I said, "then the hot air from your engine has nowhere to go. It does not matter how well your coolant pumps are working. You are trying to push air through a blocked pipe." "There is no blockage," Vren said firmly. "Our system reports the ducts are clear." "Your system reports what its sensors tell it," I said. "And sensors are usually placed at the ends of a duct, not in the middle. If something is stuck in the middle, the sensors might not notice it right away." Nobody stopped me from speaking. Maybe because nobody had a better idea. We were now at about 9 minutes before the predicted failure, and even a guess from the maintenance guy started to sound better than nothing. "Where is the nearest access point to the tunnel junction near the engine room?" I asked. A technician quickly pointed me toward a panel a short distance away. I moved fast. My hands already knew what to do, since I had opened panels like this many times before. Within a minute, the panel was off, and I stuck my head inside with a flashlight. And there it was. A large pile of packing material was jammed sideways inside the duct, blocking it almost completely. It looked like foam padding, the kind used to protect fragile items during shipping. Someone had opened a supply delivery in a hurry a few days earlier, and, instead of walking the trash to a proper disposal area, had simply pushed it into the nearest open vent. It was a small, careless action, but it had caused a very big problem. I have seen humans do the exact same thing. Someone shoves a jacket into a vent because they do not want to walk it to their room. It seems harmless at the time, but it can cause serious trouble later. I found your catastrophic failure, I called back to the group. It is packing foam. That is not possible, Vren said, arriving beside me so quickly that he almost knocked into me. Our sensors would have detected a blockage of this size. Your sensors are placed at the ends of the duct, I reminded him. I already told you that. I reached into the tunnel and grabbed the foam with both hands. It took one strong pull to get it free. As soon as it came out, I felt a rush of air move past me, faster than before. The blockage that had been sitting there for days was finally gone. Almost immediately, the sound of the ship changed. The low hum that fills the background of every spaceship shifted slightly in tone. Air that had been struggling to move now had a clear path again. Core temperature difference is decreasing, the ship's computer reported. It almost sounded surprised, even though computers are not supposed to feel surprise. Rate of decrease is accelerating. Catastrophic failure prediction has been cancelled. For a moment, nobody said anything. The control room was completely silent. Vren stared at the ball of foam in my hands, like it had personally insulted him. In a way, maybe it had. 3 days, he said slowly. We have been running full diagnostic checks for 3 days. We used deep scanning technology. We even considered the possibility of sabotage. Yeah, well, I said, stuffing the foam into a trash bag. Sometimes the answer is not complicated. Sometimes it really is just a blocked vent. Your people can build ships that travel faster than light, but nobody thought to check if the tunnels were clear. Why would we check the tunnels? Vren asked. Our systems reported everything was working correctly. That is the problem, I said. Systems only know what they are told to look for. Your team is amazing at solving big, complicated problems. But sometimes, the real problem is something small and simple. Something a computer might miss completely. Vren did not respond right away. He looked at his team, then back at me, then at the foam again. I need to finish replacing a filter on another deck, I said, lifting my bag of trash. It is part of the same duct system. You might want to let me finish checking it before anyone writes an official report about today. I left the control room while Vren stood there, holding a status report that had changed, in less than 2 minutes, from catastrophic failure to problem solved, packing material blockage. Later that day, word spread quickly through the ship. Everyone wanted to know how the maintenance worker had solved a problem that a team of expert engineers could not explain. Some crew members looked at me with confusion, others looked impressed. A few even seemed a little embarrassed, since their advanced training had not prepared them to think about something as simple as trash in a vent. That evening, Vren found me in the small break room near the maintenance deck. He walked in carefully, since the room was built for humans, and was much smaller than what he was used to. I wanted to speak with you, he said. Sure, I replied, setting down my drink. What's up? I have reviewed the incident report, he said. The cause was exactly as you said. Packing material from a supply delivery, placed carelessly into an access vent. It traveled through the shared duct system until it reached a narrow junction near the engine core. Makes sense, I said. Foam like that expands a little over time too, especially near heat. It probably got tighter and tighter each day, until it almost sealed the whole path. Vren was quiet for a moment. Our sensors are advanced. They can detect radiation, pressure changes, chemical leaks, even small cracks in metal, but they did not detect this. That's because your sensors are built to look for big, dangerous problems, I said. Nobody designed them to notice something boring, like trash stuck in a pipe. It's not exciting. It's not complicated. It's just something a person walking through the tunnel would notice right away. I see, Vren said. He paused again before speaking. I have decided to change our maintenance procedures. Starting this week, we will begin regular physical inspections of all duct systems, once every week, in addition to our normal sensor checks. That's a smart idea, I said. Sensors are great, but they can't replace someone actually looking with their own eyes. I would like you to lead these inspections, Vren said. You understand these systems in a way our engineers do not. I smiled a little. Sure, I can do that. Just don't expect me to write a fancy scientific report about it. I'll keep it simple. I'll just tell you what I find. Simple is acceptable, Vren said. In fact, I think simple may be exactly what we need. After that day, things slowly changed on the ship. The engineers still worked on the big, complicated systems, the ones that needed years of training to understand. But now, every week, someone actually walked through the tunnels and checked them by hand. Most weeks, nothing unusual was found, but every few weeks, something small would turn up. A loose panel, a bit of debris, once, even a small tool that had been lost months earlier during a repair. None of these problems were as serious as the one that almost caused a catastrophic failure, but each one was a small reminder that even the most advanced technology cannot see everything. Sometimes, the simplest explanation is the right one. As for me, my job did not change much. I still spent most of my days in tight spaces, fixing filters, checking pipes, and doing work that most of the crew never thought about. But now, when something strange happened on the ship, people started asking for me a little earlier than before. I think about that day sometimes. A team of brilliant engineers, using the most advanced tools available, could not figure out why their ship was overheating. It took someone with a flashlight and a bit of common sense to solve it in under 2 minutes. It is a strange thing to think about. The universe is full of incredible technology. Ships that can travel between stars. Computers that can process more information in a second than a person could in a lifetime. And yet, sometimes, all of that amazing technology can be stopped by something as small and simple as a blocked vent. I do not say this to make fun of the engineers. They are brilliant, and I respect the work they do. But I think there is a lesson here for everyone, no matter where you come from or what you know. Sometimes, the biggest problems have the simplest solutions. And sometimes, all you need to solve them is someone willing to look closely, ask simple questions, and check the places nobody else thought to check. That is what I do. I am not the smartest person on this ship. I am not the most advanced. But I know how to notice small things. And on a ship full of brilliant minds, that turned out to be exactly what everyone needed.